So far in this section of the iRacing driving school, we've learned how to find the right racing line by locating the turn in, apex, and track out, as well as how to handle the various corners you can encounter on a given track. Now, we'll take a look at the types of corners found at tracks all over the world, and we'll put everything we've learned together. A Type 1 corner is one that leads onto a long straight. These corners are critical because you need to make every effort to achieve the highest possible exit speed in order to carry that speed down the straight. There's no better way to gain speed than when the car is traveling in a straight line and the gas pedal is on the floor. The last corner at Lime Rock Park is a great example and a good one to practice. It's a classic constant radius corner followed by a long straight. Type 2 corners are found at the end of long straights. Regardless of the radius of these corners, it is vital to consider the amount of time that you have the accelerator fully depressed on the straight. Traditionally, exit speed on Type 2 corners is not as vital as is focusing on optimizing your braking and carrying speed into the corner. Turn 1 at Lime Rock Park is a great example, particularly because past the apex, you're going to need to reduce your speed to make it through the tighter radius of Turn 2. This turn is a great location to work on your late braking all the way to the apex of the corner. Sometimes called a compromise corner, a Type 3 corner is basically a corner that leads into another corner. A great example of this is turns 3 and 4, or the left-hander and right-hander, also at Lime Rock Park. Because you have two interconnected turns, you're unable to optimize the radius of both. So you sacrifice the optimum line through the first corner in order to be on the best possible radius for the second corner, because turn 4 at Lime Rock Park leads onto a straightaway. We choose a line through turn 3 where its only purpose is to set us up for the ideal entrance into turn 4. Additionally, if you want to really challenge yourself, check out the double compromise corners of Summit Point in turn 7 and 8. For additional practice, try using the active reset feature, which allows you to drive a specific section of track over and over again with the hit of a button. In order to map the active reset controls, navigate to the Controls tab in the Options menu. Map Active Reset Save Start Point and Active Reset Run to two separate buttons. Head out on track to the corner you would like to practice and press the button Map to Active Reset Save Start Point before the corner. Then, press the button Map to Active Reset Run after exiting the corner. After your first reset, your delta time between the start and end points will be displayed. This is a great tool to see how running different lines will affect your lap time. For more information on using Active Reset, watch our related iRacing how-to tutorial, linked in this video's description. With what you've learned about the race line and cornering, it's important to put it all together and make it useful on the track. Like learning any skill, getting a feel for the racing line is going to take time and practice. That said, you should have a process in place to learn new circuits and new corners that'll help you to ramp up your learning curve relatively quickly. First, when tackling a new track, try to be methodical in your approach. Start slowly, pick up reference points along the track, and get a feel for the terrain for the first couple of laps. For each corner, start with a late turn-in and a late apex, leaving you with a lot of room at the exit of the corner. As you become more comfortable, gradually turn in an apex earlier until your track out point is right at the edge of the pavement. This will indicate that you're right on line, as you won't have a coach sitting next to you every time you drive. Another important aspect to your training is learning how to identify your mistakes. A symptom that you've turned in too early is that you'll need to turn the steering wheel more after the apex. If you're doing this, try turning in later and keep the steering wheel steady all the way to track out. Although we've talked about taking a late apex as part of the process of learning a track, it's certainly not the quickest way around. It's harder to identify when you're turning too late. Your general impression will be that the corner seems too easy after the apex. If you're not a little worried that you might go wide at the exit, you may be turning in too late. Try turning in a little earlier until your exit speed is maximized. Remember, as you're exiting a corner, you want to allow the car to travel right to the edge of the racing surface. As you can see, learning the art of the racing line isn't exactly black and white. There are rules that apply to one track that might not apply to another. Yet there's no question that practice and experience will pay dividends in the long run. cultivating and mastering this skill set will help you to quickly learn new tracks and outsmart your competitors. Good luck!